Hello and welcome to Arkiteasy. If you are a Revit beginner and you wonder how you can create a beautiful kitchen as this one is, you are at the right place. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you a very basic, simple way, the simplest way how you can create this kitchen in Revit from scratch. So no worries if you're a beginner, if you follow this tutorial from beginning to the end, you will be able to do this. By the way, this is not a sponsored video, but I have to highlight that this kitchen was designed by Kitchen by Paul. That's the Swedish brand, a very famous one here, and they have a beautiful project. So if you would like to know more about this one, I put the link in the video description. So just go there, visit them, and I think that you will find a lot of inspirational things they did. For this tutorial, I will be using Revit 2024 new metric multidisciplinary template. But for all of you who has no Revit 2024 installed, and if you have any of previous releases, no problems at all, you will be able to follow this one because the tools I'm going to use previous releases also contains. In order to create this, I have to make a simple breakdown. So I will consider that the height to the top is 900. So based on it, what I'm going to assume is that, let's say that this distance is 750. While this one we see it's a little bit smaller, so I will consider this one as a 600 millimeters. So let's say that this length from this point to this one is 285. Then we have a straight part here as well, curve, and then straight part also. The first thing I'm going to do in Revit will be to create walls. So I will just put the height to the second level. We'll take this finish face interior and we'll make the offset of 600 because I'm going to use this reference plane later on. And let's create one more wall. And this one doesn't need to have offset. And I will just create a 3D view. And here I'm going to turn off annotation categories, so we see the things better. Let's just create a floor. I will take, okay, this is this remains in this template, those inches. I will make it 300 millimeters. Okay, so we have it. Now I'm going to create the kitchen actually to start with it, and the basic way, the most simplest for in this case is to use a model in place tool. I will take the casework as a category, and I'm going to take extrusion. I will pick and I will take this to 85. Yeah, we have 250. I said I can take 250 here as well. And I will just take this arch tool by 45 degrees. Okay. Let's delete those lines. And I can trim this here. And I can also have it up to here. Let's take the pick line and I will make the offset of 20 millimeters. So let's say that that's the thickness of our door. And let's just close this profile. Okay, this needs to be higher. I will make it 800. And if you take a closer look at the picture, we see that our door, they don't start from the floor. There is some kind of offset. I will make this offset of 80 millimeters. So simply just have this selected and extrusion start from 80 millimeters. And let me just model this base here. I'm going to be in the same model in place element and I'm going to use extrusion as well. So it will go up to here, and then the 60 millimeters is going to be dragged in. Let's just trim this. And this needs to have a height of 80 millimeters. And yep, here it comes. By the way, this is quite important. As you could see, we have those empty spaces between the doors, and I'm going to create them. One of the ways to create them is to split the extrusion lines, but you will see why I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you a different way. So I'm going to use void elements, and I will create void extrusion. So I'm going to make this one to be 2 millimeters from here, and let's just make it 100. Then I'm going to use it to select it. Actually, I will take a copy, and I'm going to move to the right this one for 600, then this one for, actually no, before I'm done with it, I will just make this one, and I can make it to go up to here, and we'll just close this. And by the way, in order to determine height, the easiest way will be even right now to create a floor. So I'm going to take and to create actually a new floor which has a 20 millimeters thickness. And I'm going to place it 900 from the floor. Oops, sorry, wrong picking. I'm trimming this, and yep, it's here. Let me just open this south elevation view. So just select it, right click, and go to the elevation. And if I measure from here to here, we have 80. And because I put the thickness of 20, I will make this to be 3 centimeters, 30 millimeters. You can anytime use a detail line. I took a shortcut. You can just go here to the annotate and take a detail line, put the offset of 30 millimeters, and make it like this. Select this mesh, actually this model in place element, and drag it to the line. Now we'll just go to 3D. I will go edit in place. Just skip this one. And I'm going to select our void element, and I'm going to make it to go up to the top of the door. From the level 1, I'm just will make this as a wireframe, and now I'm going to select this, and I'm going to copy this for 600, and then 750, 750, and 750. And I need to create one more. So it's going to be like this, and then just select the bottom line, pick 2, and let's just copy this and make it, oh no, again, because I need to do this. And now I'm going to copy this for 200. And let me see. Yeah, this looks super. Okay. To continue further, we should create, you see that we have something here in the back, and then probably we have something at the bottom. So I'm going to make it, and let me just hide this wall so we see better what we are doing. I will select our elements, we'll go here to the edit in place, and we'll take a sweep tool. For a path, I'm going to pick a plane, and it's going to be this top here. So let's just select it from here. We need to create a profile, and for that I can take west elevation, make it to be wireframe, and then let's just create a profile. So this first one can look like this. So it could be 25 millimeters, let's say. Oops. And I'm going to select it, and just to copy here, So here I'm going to take the offset of 10 millimeters. It could be like this. Pick this line and just trim until we get the close shape. This line we don't need. So let's just close our sweep and yes, we got it. To continue further, we need to create those trims. By the way, for all of you who would like to know to create the Revit family of the cabinet or the kitchen element, just take a look at the card above. I explained that process in one of my previous tutorials, and that process is going to be very suitable for this kitchen as well. But here, I'm going to make it as a model in place tool. So I'm going to use a sweep tool, and I'm going to make this distance from sides to here of, let's say, 125 millimeters. So for pet, I can just pick, actually I don't need to pick a reference plane right now. I will just set everything to the center northwest. The reason is because you see this is our center northwest reference plane. And I will just take the offset of 125. Trim those ends. And then from the plan view, I will draw the profile. Maybe something like this. And this is okay. What's not fine here, you see that our void elements, they don't cut this. So what I can do, I can just go here to cut. I will select this one, and then I'm going to select our void elements. And you see how it's cut it nicely. We have to repeat the same process here, but you know the way how it's done, so just follow that way and make it. What I'm going to show you right now is a bit trickier part, and it's how to create those curved sweeps, actually sweep on a curved element. So again, I will be using sweep tool, and for pet, in this case, I will just pick a plane because I would like to be sure that it ends here. So I will take 125 offset. I can go to this elevation view and I can simply drag this to be 100 because, let me just check it. This should be fine. And I'm going to create the profile, and it's going to look the same as this one, but it's going to be mirrored. So I'm now just picking lines. Select it and just take a mirror. I'm going to move it to here. Of course, we have to have a close profile. Yep, this is done. What's not good here is that this needs to be 123, it says. Okay. So let me just select this, or I mean, what I can do as well is this thing. So just to be more precise, I can create a reference plane up to here, so it's visible. in our elevation view, edit in place and edit sweep. I will just edit path right now, so I will just extend this to the reference plane. And yep, it's fine. It's time now to create the one from the other side as well. Okay, and I will use sweep again, and we'll just take this part as a reference plane. So let me just make it 125 from here. $123 was before, probably this one is the same, 123. To the level one, and I will edit profile. I will create a new one. Again, I will pick this. So let's just, sorry, needs to be closed. Select it, and I'm going to rotate this for 90 degrees. We'll take move and we'll place it here. If the cut is not made, you know what to do. Just take it and cut it, and yep, it's here. So how we can create the top or the bottom trim in this case? It's actually quite simple. So what I'm going to do I will use sweep. Just be aware when you are picking the plane, so you can take any of them. In this case, I will take this one, and I will pick this line here. We'll click fine, and I'm now going to create the profile. So I know it goes this way. It goes 5. Let me just see in 3D what we are getting. Yes, this looks okay. And then I think, let me just take a look. Yes, it goes 3 millimeters, probably 3 here and then 3 here. So yep. You see that here it aligns well. So what I did wrong is I made the wrong profile here, which actually I made the wrong profile at the other side. So what I can do, just to make it to match nicely, I will select this whip and I will edit this profile. I will just mirror this profile. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Just take it and mirror it. And you see how it joined nicely. If you don't want to have this this line visible, you just need to go to join and then join elements. And here it comes. There is one more thing actually there are a few more things we have to do. We have to model, but regarding modeling kitchen and trims, that was it. Now I'm going to show you how you can create this niche in a wall, and the most basic way for that will be I can just make a new reference plane which aligns here. I can call it as a niche, and I will go to the south elevation. So here, just take component, and in this case, pick generic models. Take a void form, void extrusion, and the reference plane, take a niche. I would like this to have a depth of 300 millimeters, so I will make it to start from the bottom. You will see why. Then it could go middle here, and let's say 1 meter by sides, and 1 meter from the top of the slab. And I can then just take the arch tool and I will make it to look like this. Let's delete those two lines. Go here. The start could be to -100. No problem. Take a cut and cut it from this wall. And just finish. This wall has a problem, it's not so thick, so I will make a one of, let's say, 400 millimeters. So we got it, and now it's time just to adjust our slab, so because it needs to go inside, and that's why I made this to be a little bit deeper for 20 millimeters so they don't overlap. Yep, it's here. By the way, the element you need to create here you can do by sweep or you can make as extrusion, so it's up to you. You saw the principle how you can create both of them. What I'm going to show you next will be how you can create this element here. And I'm again going to use a model in place tool. We'll take this. It could be casework as well. And let's take extrusion. So I'm going to make this to be 1.2 meters by sides from here, 900 millimeters, and then let's say 1.8. I will make those things to be 300. And then here 300. So slice this and just trim the elements, or you don't need to trim, sorry, we can take this radius. Let's take it as a 50. No, maybe 100 is better, so let's take as 100 instead of trim. This is better. This has a start of 80 and I will just drag it up to here. Yep. Or in this case, sorry, I'm not going to drag it up to here. I would like to show you one other process. I will drag it up to the bottom of the top. So this is going to be dragged up to this part, and I will need to make the base for this. So edit in place, skip this warning, extrusion, and I will take this 60. If we take a look here, we see that this radius here is way smaller, so I'm going to make this radius of, let's say, 10 millimeters. And this goes 80 millimeters tall. By the way, how we can create this gap here right now. I will, in this case, use something I didn't use before. So I will use void form, and in this case, I will use a void sweep tool. And let's just sketch the path. I will pick the plane, so it's going to be this top here. When I'm done with picking, I'm going to create this, and let's say that we have 3 centimeters gap and then a little bit space inside. So I will make this to look maybe like this. Sorry, it will look like this. I made a double line, so I'm going to delete one. And yep, let's close it here. I hope I have no overlapping lines. No. And yep, it's here. Okay, so that's it regarding this model. What we need to do is to create a floor above. So I'm going to select the floor, and we will use create similar. We'll go here and let's just create the floor, actually the countertop. So you see, that's it about modeling this one. And the next thing we have to do is to add materials to our model. And there are 2 ways, so I'm going to show you them. So firstly, what I'm going to do will be to create this countertop material. As I said, I would like to show you 2 different ways. So let's say we need to go to manage, we need to go to materials, and I'm going to create a new one. Let me see firstly. Actually, yeah, I'm going to create a new one. We'll name this one as marble. And I don't know where the textures are. So what I'm going to do, I will try to see if we have in our library, in actually Autodesk library, some marble. We have this one, and I'm just going to copy this asset. Okay, I don't like it. It doesn't matter. Let's just replace the texture. So I will take some Autodesk's textures. Let me see the thumbnail, and we'll just zoom in. Let's see marble. I think that this one is pretty strong, but it can work. And let's just click done and apply, and I will select our countertop, and here for material I will add marble. Let's just go to the textures graphic display option. So yeah, this is okay, this looks fine. I need to create some wood, and then we have some copper as well. So let me create a wood. Again, I will take a new material. And let's just find what do we have here. Okay, we can maybe try with this birch wood. I think that this texture is pretty strong. I will try to replace this one. Let's just go and see if we have something which is more brighter. Maybe I think that this one can be fine. Just try. And then do we have a copper? Yes, we have a copper. So the first way to do this is just you need to select this edit in place element, and then we need to select the parts we modeled. So I'm selecting this one, and I am going to pick the material directly from here. I will take this wood, and then for this one I'm going to take a copper. Good. And the second way how you can add materials is you need to select this, go to edit in place. So instead of adding materials, what we can do, because I don't want to often go in a family to be able to do something. So firstly, I will select these doors, and I'm going to make a category with clicking on this small box here. So I will make this as a then I'm going to select this, and I'm going to add this as streams. And we also have something here. I will take this as a base. So now when it's done, and if you would like to add material, you don't need to go here to edit in place. Instead, we can go to edit in type, and we will way easier change all the materials. So let's see if we have any paint or so. We have this cabinet, so we can add cabinets everywhere. And by the way, you don't need to click here and look for cabinets again. You can simply copy this and paste here. And you see, it will arrive. And that was it about adding materials. Now I'm just going to finish the model, and I'm going to show you how you can create a beautiful presentation out of this, and how you can then place it on sheet. So you see, here is the finished model. I made a little bit of change here, and I will close everything. So this is how the space look like finished. I'm going to go here to duplicate this one. You see I have a lot of here. So I will duplicate this one with the detailing, and I'm going to name it. So don't leave it like this. This is a very working version. And I will make this just kitchen overview. What I can do, I can, let's say, select all those walls, or I don't need all those walls. I can just take this floor and those two walls, and I'm going to hide them in view. And I will select those walls, select all instances, and again, I'm going to hide those elements here as well. What I would like to do right now will be just to make a section box. I don't need those reference planes and so, because you see they're making my section box way bigger. So let me just turn them off. So what I'm going to turn off will be under annotation categories, the grids, levels, and the reference planes, as well as scope boxes and sections. I will just make it. You can actually go to the top here on a cube, and then you will be able to make this to look according to your needs. Okay. So this looks okay. What I can also maybe do is just to make it a little bit like this. Okay, not that much. Super. And now just be aware to pick the right angle. So let's say I can just make the angle which looks like this. And once it's done, just go here, save the orientation, And if you need, you can just drag this a little bit. Once you are done with it, my suggestion is to go to notation categories and then turn off these section boxes so it's not visible in a view. And if you would like to tag it or to tag materials, actually, you can just go to annotate, material tag, and then click, let's say, marble. This one is written marble, then this one is some color. And yeah, this one has nothing, and you will see why it has nothing. So if I select this, actually I will just go to manage, and this wood here, this has nothing in a description, so let's make it as ash wood, for example, and you see that description appeared here. By the way, I have right now the very bright text, and if you would like to change the color of the let's say the back of your view just to highlight your 3D, you can go here to the graphic display options, and yeah, I have smooth lines on, shadows, ambient shadows are on or off. I think that it's nicer with the ambient shadows on, and for a background I will take a gradient. So you see how it looks like. If you would like to have a consistent color, you can just select all of them, and I will just make this dark to be everywhere, so this really pops up. And what's quite important, you can crop your view with just allowing it here. And then if I select it, I can just crop it and make it how I would like to have them. If you would like to have a detail zoomed in or so, you can just do the right click here, duplicate without detailing, so I don't want to have materials. And what I can also do in this case, I don't maybe need a background for now, so I will put none. But I will make this to be, let's say, 1 to 10, and then I'm just going to make it this way. Why I made Y to 10 and what's the difference, you will see right now. So if I go to the sheets, right click and new sheet, I will just take this A1 metric that's in a template. I will drag this kitchen overview, and it's small, double click, I will increase this. So I think this is better when it's 1 to 50. And now if I do and drag the kitchen detail 01 here, you see how it look like, and that this looks better if we make it this way. If you are not satisfied with the angle, you can anytime double click this and then go here, unlock the orientation, and let's say that we would like to make it to be maybe, let's say, like this. So let's say it matches the height roughly. Yep. By the way, how you can create the elevation view. You need to go to the level 1, and then you see I have 2 of them here. By the way, what you need to do is just go to the view, pick elevation, and then click here. So it will set the elevation. It automatically set it, this one, to the ends of the wall. Right click on it and then go to elevation view. You can anytime adjust your crops if you don't want to have this right side visible, or if you don't want to have your floor visible. And we can also change this to be to the textures, let's say. I added textures here, I modeled this. Let's just add some more things here to this one. I will just take the smooth line and I will try to see how it's going to look like with the ambient shadows. I think it looks better. And for the elevations, what we can do is also depth cueing. So You can just play with this, feel free. Or the next example is going to be a bit better to show you this. So let's say that we would like to have this countertop, this actually kitchen island visible in elevation view. So I will go to elevation and I can just place it here as well. Then I'm just going to drag everything and I will drag this one, right click, go to elevation view. And of course, if you would like, as I said, you can simply make it this way. I will place this as a textures. So let's add a smooth lines. Shadows, I will turn on ambient shadows. And for the depth cueing, let's just see how it's going to be if we show the depth. So let's just spot the differences. Just play with those things. You see it controls the clips, how far it will look like. And yeah, I mean, this way we are able to really create very nice presentations. And let's say that this elevation 4, I don't need those annotation categories maybe right now. And I would like to place this on a sheet as well. So I will just go and I will take this elevation 4. It's so small. We can make it 1 to 25. And yep, it's here. So, and I mean, you can really continue developing your model on this way. So you can go into more details and so on. With this tutorial, I covered the basic principles you need to create a kitchen like this and to make some kind of the presentation as well. So you can, without any previous knowledge of Revit, I hope with following this tutorial, create this. If you have any questions, doubts or anything regarding this video or this technique, just feel free to write me in the comments. And yes, if you would like to support us, just like this video, subscribe to our channel and see you soon in the next videos.